Most American adults and more than a third of children use dietary supplements. That's according to a new study from the CDC. Researchers looked only at supplement use from 2017 to March of 2020, but experts say that use is probably even higher now because it grew during the pandemic when people were trying to boost immunity any way they could. Joining me now to weigh on this is our friend Dr. Shikha Jain with UI Health. Good morning to you. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Sylvia.
You know, there's so much confusing news about supplements, isn't there? It's good for you, it's bad for you. So many studies have come out and said they make absolutely no difference. Where do you stand on this?
Well, the way I stand on it is true. There's a lot of studies that have shown that supplements and vitamins don't actually help because typically you should be getting most of it from your diet. And actually, there's some harm in taking some of these vitamins because people think of them as a natural way to boost their immunity, when in actuality, these types of supplements are not really regulated very strictly by the FDA. So sometimes they are laced with other things like heavy metals that can be dangerous. And vitamins and things can actually interact with the medications you're taking. So it can actually be very dangerous. I've seen people who are taking supplements who ended up in liver failure, even though they were taking it as it was written on the bottle. So I think it's really, really important to talk to your doctor about them.
Okay, but like living here in Chicago, you know, we all hear all of us need vitamin D. There's a supplement. I think it's been proven safe, and I've actually heard physicians say take vitamin D. So maybe what are some of the more dangerous ones that you need to think about, or maybe that you need to really kind of back off of?
Well, you're right. Vitamin D is something, especially in Chicago, where it's not very sunny that often. That could be a good one. You can get your vitamin D level checked with your doctor, and vitamin D can sometimes help you with bone strength. So you can use vitamin D supplementation if you talk to your doctor and make sure your levels are low. There are other ones like beta carotene has actually been found to convert to vitamin A in your body, and that can be quite dangerous and has actually been linked with an increased risk of certain cancers and heart disease. And really, a lot of the supplements out there might not be safe for you. So regardless, if you want to take vitamins, talk to your doctor and make sure they don't interact with the medications you're on, and make sure that you're taking the right amount, because again, these vitamins and supplements aren't really regulated that heavily.
Right. Okay. The first thing I think about is giving vitamins to your children. You know, we have the little gummy vitamins. Remember the old school Flintstone vitamins? And, you know, you see those a lot in people's homes. Do you have children? How do you feel about giving vitamins to children?
So I will say sometimes my kids see the gummy vitamins and they grab them because they look like candy. And so occasionally I will give my kids a gummy vitamin, but I know that they're not actually getting enough nutrients and getting the vitamins that they need from these vitamins. So it's not something we do consistently in our home. And I've talked to our pediatrician about it, and she said, you know, if you're taking those vitamins, as long as they're ones that have a USP label on them that shows they're a little bit more regulated, it's okay to take them, but it's probably not helping the kids in really any way, shape, or form.
Okay, finally, in the short amount of time we have left, real quick, I understand there's been 1 death and 97 confirmed or probable cases of a rare fungal infection called blastomycosis, and it's all linked to a paper mill in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. How concerned, or should we be concerned about this in our area?
Well, blastomycosis is often found in the Midwest and in the south central parts of the country in moist soil. So people who work in, for example, construction or excavators can be at risk of being exposed. It does not pass from person to person, but it can be, you can contract it if you come in contact with the spores. So we don't really need to be that concerned with it in Chicago unless you're really working in areas with moist soil. It's not very common, and even the people who do contract it oftentimes don't develop symptoms. So we don't need to be very concerned. But if you do work in one of those types of environments and you think you've been exposed somewhere, I'd recommend talking to your job, talking to your doctor, and getting more information. But it's not something that we're really at risk for here unless you're in one of those at-risk communities.
Dr. Jain, as always, thanks for joining us this morning. Good to see you.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Take care.